Hello, I am Endlessness and welcome back to Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. Today I'd like to bring you a guide for the extra hard Gallonbaloir battle in the First Soldier, Chapter 4. And the battle itself has recommended power 185,000, which is a lot more manageable with us having now level 70 on all characters. However, just to go quickly over the boss info, Gallonbaloir is one of those very few bosses that are only immune to stun, and that means you can apply all other effects, status effects that we have in the game. We can also debuff him, pretty much anything except stun, which is very unusual and very rare. However, he's weak to fire, and also Gallonbaloir has two sigil phases. The first one is charge, which he uses to buff his attack, and the second one is mend, which restores his own HP. So ideally you want to break those sigils as fast as you can. Since it's story mode, we cannot use any other characters, so we are stuck with Lucia, Glenn and Matt. And the way I have set them up is Matt is my healer, Glenn is my primary DPS and Lucia is secondary DPS. Just to go quickly over them, Matt has that gear voucher costume, a healing one, so heal and physical defense, which is quite nice to have. Also prime number in main slots and fire breach in third materia slots, because prime number has that buff debuff extension 20%. Other than that, just single target cura materia, and every character has a triangle sigil boost, but also sleek bill in secondary weapon slot, just in case I need to reduce the physical attack, but also it boosts my HP, and other than that a little bit more HP, so he has 8.7 and 2.1 heal with those two sub weapons. And it's only level 1, but I put a gigantic shield just in case. If you have something better, then you're free to choose whatever you have. For Glenn, I have main weapon as the crew kicker, because it deals 480% physical fire damage and has really good stats. And there's one other alternative. You can use Inferno Grave, which is the free summon weapon. If you maxed out Ifrit, you should have it at high OB or max OB, and it deals 450% magical fire damage, which is fine. You can use him as a magic DPS, however it has worse stats. So you have two options. I use this one mainly because it's my best Glenn weapon. And other than that, he has one triangle sigil and the other one is breach, just to decrease that physical defense, and hellfire and some weapons to boost his DPS, so 8.7 HP and 2.9 physical attack. And the last one is Lucia, 8.9 HP and 2.5 physical attack, but also this one is the FF9 event weapon we had. I will not be using that, that's why I have the fire blow here, the triangle sigil, and she also has D-Brave, which reduces the physical attack, and also some sub weapons to boost her DPS if I can. And here, if you have some bare limit breaks, then use them. I just put Shiva on her because it's my best option. Right at the very beginning of the battle, just after this animation ends, switch stances. Immediately just switch to defense, because Gallonbaloir always does this rush, and ideally you want to avoid taking as much damage as you can. Here I will just use Fire Breach, because he has this Thunderfall and he has that charge bar I want to reduce it as much as I can. Most likely I may not be able to do it, so don't worry, just wait for that. And now defense. If you can completely reduce that bar, you will stun him, and then you can do some extra damage before he will actually do that Thunderfall. And other than that, I stay on mat, just mainly to heal. My both DPS, they are set up nicely. I was almost there. And I would just heal back. Ideally, I would like to do Fire Breach, however, the Sigil phase is coming, so try to take care of it as fast as you can. But also, Gallonbaloir is weak in those Sigil phases, so you can use those phases to deal some extra damage if you want, if you have enough DPS for that. However, Stagger, always use that time to... Oh, actually I didn't have to do that. But also here, when I see those big attacks, I always try to switch to defense to take a little bit less damage. Now here's Mend. This one, it doesn't have any weakness, so just try to break it as quickly as you can, because he is recharging his HP. And now we are back. I'll use my triple limit break in a moment, just want to prepare for that, and breach. And triple limit break, and this should almost kill him, I think. Yeah, it's very close. And the battle is over. Alright, I thought this might be the second option without using limit breaks, so again switch to defense before that rush, just to take a little bit less damage. And here I will also use Fire Breach. If you have enough DPS, you can completely deplete that charge bar and he will be stunned. However, I do not have that luxury, so just in case I will heal here. And that's still fine. Fire Breach again, so at least they can do some DPS. However, this time I will not use any limit breaks, just in case you might not have enough DPS to with those limit breaks, and you have to fight a little bit longer. However, as mat, I am mostly just healing and sometimes doing Fire Breach if I can. However, I do not want to risk me being too low on HP and possibly dying. And Stagger. And pretty much we are almost exactly where we were. Now Mend. Just quickly break those sigils. The longer you take, the more HP he recovers. And Fire Breach again. And now I just sit on ADB. Now it's Thunder Strike, which is also fine. Just switch to defense. He had enough time to heal. Oh, he almost died actually. Only if Glenn had a little bit more attack. So it doesn't really take too much damage. So just finish him after that. In case you take a little bit longer, it's mostly just him switching between Thunder Strike, I don't think Thunderfall ever happens again other than at the beginning of the battle, and just also sigil phases, that's all. Just unleash your limit breaks as soon as you have them for extra DPS, and you should be able to win this right now with level 70. It's, like I said, it's significantly easier and more manageable. However, I hope this guide was helpful, so thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you next one.